All right, guys, welcome back to Dojo Talk Presents. Jody said it first, and just so you know, he always says it first. Now, this was literally us today.
We was in the car.
We was in the car. He's down. CP3 to the Warriors. Now, what does that do for the Warriors, man? I'm gonna tell you. In my eyes, I feel like the only way this is beneficial to the Warriors is if CP3 is coming off the bench. Not saying that they can't coexist together, Steph and CP3 on the court. But the way that I look at it is they need a leadership general on the backside for the sixth man to come in and create that strength and bonding with another player to mesh that really well to keep the same momentum going when the starters come out.
And I respect that. However, I think, once again, when we're talking next season, NBA season starts in October.
Yep.
So this is just June. We got the draft tonight. We still got free agency to come. So these teams are going to look different.
It is. They're going to look real different.
But going off of right now, I think I saw a projected lineup of CP, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, and Dre. Okay.
Really small. Really small.
Extremely small. However, it can work because Dre is used to playing the center, and Wiggins can play the 4 in this league. In
this league today, yes, he can.
It's such a stretch position. Chris Paul and Steph, that's not an issue to me.
No, it's not.
Because I've always said Steph is so hard for me to judge him as far as his all-time ranking because he's a point guard that's not really a point guard. Draymond has been the point guard on that team. He's the heart and soul. He's the motor. He's the leader. Without Draymond, the Warriors don't have one ring.
I would definitely agree to that.
Steph at the 2 now with Chris Paul at the point is not a problem. The issue is going to be, right now Twitter is loving this. Twitter loving, Draymond
eating
got
it up with
Poole out of there, and then even roasting Chris Paul and Draymond having to play, pick and roll together because they're both passers.
Yep. And then
that's the only thing that.
And then still always bring up that whole moment when Chris Paul got made to play Twister by Steph Curry. They're gonna make a big joke about it.
The part that confuses me here is will Draymond and Chris mesh because they're both points. So that's where I could see your argument for Chris off the bench working because Draymond will be the point of that starting group with Steph, and then Chris will come in for whomever, and he'll, of course, be the point guard that he is.
But, of course, though, at the same time, you can't put them in together.
And that's what I was just about to say. I still have no problem with the projected lineup they have, or if they can go get a 5 to keep Draymond at the 4. I have no problem with basically the Warriors' big 3 plus Chris Paul because Chris Paul and Draymond Green are 2 of the smartest basketball players ever. They're going to be able to make it work.
And there's only one problem right now sitting in between that.
What's up?
Draymond not accepting his contract for $27.5 million. We are still waiting on him as an unrestricted free agent to make a decision.
That's chess.
That's chess.
That's chess. Not chess. Trust me. Mm-hmm. Everybody made a big deal out of that. That is a part of being able to bring in Chris Paul.
Yeah,
That's a part of being able to reconstruct this team because we got four. Now, not only is our look when they had the 3, their motivation was we done went all the way to the bottom. Mm-hmm. We didn't need Kevin. We won before Kevin. Now we're gonna show y'all we can build it back up. That's why that 4th championship in 22 meant so much to the 3 of them. It was Clay's redemption. It was Steph coming back from the things he came back from, and it was just Dre being Dre and still being able to be there and show that he still is that valuable. Now they have a whole new motivation. Not only are we trying to get 5, but we want Chris to get a ring.
True, because I want Chris to get a ring. Chris deserves it.
Chris Paul is the point guard. Steph agrees with that. Clay agrees with that. Dre agrees.
It ain't too many people in the world who gonna argue.
They can't. Once again, I said point guard first. I promise you I did. But now that's their new motivation. I'm looking at Chris. Chris is 38 years old, right?
Yes, and that's the other part that's really hard.
This season, Chris played 59 games. He played 65 last season.
59 out of 80 ain't bad. 82.
Especially at this age. I'm not mad at that from Chris. His points dropped off less than 1 point. The assist was the big drop off this year. It dropped off from 11 last year.
But he technically had to become a scorer.
No, he didn't have to become a scorer.
Kind of. Look who they had.
His points dropped off a point.
His points dropped off a point, but his assists, you know what I mean? For that,
it showed that his value was lessened this season. That's what it was, just because also, I believe his minutes dropped off slightly from 33 to 32.
Of course. But that comes with old age.
49.5% down to 44. The big thing here, Jordan Poole, who is a part
Who
of
Draymond is telling get the fuck out.
That's the big thing right here. If you look at the last 2 seasons, Poole played 30 minutes a game. In the year they won the championship last year, he played 30 minutes a game this year.
Yeah, not much change.
Last year, 76 games, started 51 this year, 82 started 43. But let's look at this. 45% down to 43. That's not terrible.
That's not.
36.5 down to 33.5 from 3.
That's not horrible.
That's not terrible. He actually averaged more points from 18.5 up to 20.5.
Yep. Assists
went up a half an assist. Jordan Poole had a solid comeback season from their championship. The problem?
So I was gonna say,
playoffs.
Now when we break this down to playoffs, I feel like Jordan Poole was trying to play the hero.
I don't even know if he was trying to play the hero. He lost minutes. If you look, he played in that championship round. He played 27.5 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
This year he only played 22 minutes because he was just out there. You could say hero because he was out there chunking.
He was throwing shots, making bad
He shot 51% and 39 from 3 last year. This year that shit dropped to
tremendous
and 25.5 from
Wasn't
3.
sharing the ball very well this year in the postseason. Wasn't,
assists were on point. I mean, from 4 to 3.5.
No, I mean,
it's just he had bad shot selection.
That's what I mean.
And he just couldn't make a shot.
That's what I mean. In the situation where
you
supposed to share.
With him missing the ball, it ain't even that he was supposed to share. It's just the fact that he was hitting those shots in 22. So it's okay for you to take them when you're making them. Now in 23, he wasn't making them.
But you were forcing them, and that's what it boils down to at that point. It's just like when you on any other sport. When you know you have an off moment, what do you got to do?
You gotta switch it up.
Switch it up. So you should have dribbled in, took you one more look.
But the problem with that is, a coach is always gonna tell his shooters to shoot.
That is true. If you open shoot, that's right. Shoot. Have confidence.
If you look at it, he took one less shot this year, but it is in 22.5 minutes. One thing that I really like to look at, a lot of people don't value this stat as much as I do, but I value it a lot, and that's the per 36. So if we go to the per 36. He did take 2 more shots a game this year in the playoffs, and only about a half of more 3-pointer. The problem is the percentages. He shouldn't have been taking as many shots when he was off as much as he was.
And when he noticed he was off.
But if he was open, because I know we was leaving him open, we was daring him, please shoot it,
please shoot it.
And I said it, that I really thought that eventually his shot was going to find him. And I was like, he's going to have a game where he's going to kill us.
And he didn't.
He's going to come back, and it didn't. And I thank God so much. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Stacey. People know what I'm talking about when I say
look, I know who you're talking about, too.
Man. I do think this is going to be very interesting for both parties just because the Wizards could end up being the worst team in the league because they could be trying to tank and they're definitely trying to go the Thunder route. I just found out that with the deal completely being finalized with Brad, they got 10 draft picks from starting next season, from 24
all the way out to 30.
They got 10 draft picks, so they definitely trying to do what the Thunder did. A lot of those first round picks are swaps, so I have to dig deep to figure out are they worst swaps or best swaps.
So do you feel like tanking is necessary inside of any sport? To me, they frown upon that.
To me, it don't really work out the way the teams say they want it to work out. With Philly, the process was looking very good. Yeah. It was going climbing, but I think they kind of reached the peak, and now we'll see. I don't really know. I can't even remember who's the coach in Philly now.
And the other
crazy, they even got one.
And they don't have one yet. They getting rid of Doc, So
I know a few coaches have been. Yeah, that's right, Nick Nurse. Yeah, I was about to say a few coaches have been hired, and Nick Nurse is a great coach. What he did in Toronto was great. Toronto firing him was the dumbest shit ever. But it will help Philly. It's just going to be how he will implicate his system around Joel, and if he's going to want to build around Joel and Maxey, or if he's going to want to try to move pieces to try to build around Joel again. But at the end of the day, that process is still working. Long. The Thunder are looking to be more they're looking to be more successful in how they're doing their rebuild, and that's why I think Washington is trying to follow their format.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be curious to see over the next 2-3 years
to see what happens.
Yeah, because I know Kuzma, shout out Cuz. I know they just he just declined his option.
Yeah.
So could he be looking to reconstruct and stay in Washington? Sure, he could, but why would he want to stay in Washington right now?
Because it seems to me that they're going to make Jordan Poole the man.
I mean, that's
what he's going to be.
What it seemed like.
Yeah,
now
that's what it's going to be.
I know now. Jordan. Let me see. What's his high on shot attempts? Because that shit about to go up. That shit about to go all the way up.
All the way up. He gonna take 1 million more shots a game.
This year he took 15.5 shots. Jordan Poole probably get about 17.5, 18 shots a game.
Maybe 20.
You know,
depending on the game.
He gonna definitely be able to chunk it up and do his thing. And that'll help him out come contract time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's still really on a new contract too.
Yeah, he's still on a rookie contract.
But with he on a new, he got paid.
Oh, he got paid.
I
Okay.
think he got paid if I'm not mistaken. But the Warriors going all in. I respect this. Shout out to Mike Dunleavy Jr., Duke, the new GM there.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the organization under Bob Myers for a while. He's learned. He played with the Warriors back in the Gap.
Yeah.
So the Warriors culture, they're not finished. They showing they have a new motivation now.
Yeah, true.
Their motivation from 3 to 4 was, we did it before Kevin, we can do it after Kevin.
That's right.
Clay, this is his redemption story coming back from his injury. This is Steph showing that he can do something, without Kevin this late in his career. This is Draymond still showing how valuable he is.
True.
Now they have a whole new motivation.
But
now they're trying to get number 5.
They're
trying to get number 5, and they want to get Chris Paul number 1.
True.
That's going to be a great motivation.
But this
for the
is
Warriors.
my only thing, though, and this is the only thing that's stopping me from buying into that. Draymond holding out, and I know you said it's chess, but what if he decides to go somewhere else?
If Draymond
where
goes
does that
somewhere
leave the Warriors?
If Draymond goes somewhere else, like I said, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
The Warriors ain't winning without Draymond unless.
Now, what if they trade Draymond for Zion, though? What would that do for the Warriors?
That's not gonna happen.
You don't know what can happen, man. It's the NBA.
It's not gonna happen.
It could be anything, man. It could be anything. We gotta look. We gotta look at all potential. We gotta look at all potential. We gotta look at all potential stuff, man.
That's not potential.
It's potential.
It's not potential.
Zion is valuable. We just discussed this earlier.
New Orleans don't want Draymond for Zion. I'm telling you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Zion is not as valuable as Draymond.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
And it's not even. No, I'm saying like as far as having him as a piece. He's not as valuable as Draymond to the Warriors, but with getting Chris Paul and getting Zion, what would that change? Dynamic.
That's not going to happen.
I know that. He said, I don't even want to entertain it.
Because what I'm trying to say is, Draymond, I love him, but New Orleans isn't taking Draymond for Zion. If New Orleans trades Zion, it's going to be for star quality to come back, or a whole lot of pieces, which is going to help them fit and build. Draymond is like 32 or something. They're 32, 33. They're not trading Zion for somebody 10 years older than them. It's somebody who.
But you got to think about what all
people don't value Draymond the way I value Draymond.
I value Draymond. I see Draymond as a great player. Because you can take with Draymond is so crazy because you can take Draymond and move him from power forward to make him a small forward, and get 2 bigs and set that around him, even though he's not a great shooter.
But that's why it don't work.
No. I'm gonna say
he either has to play the point or he has to.
No, that's what I was gonna say. You can put him at the small forward, put 2 bigs in, Steph and Clay, still let him bring it up and run the point, and use him as a great defender on defense because his rebounds, his disruption, his all that, the tip passes, the steals. He is amazing. His assist on the other side. That's what makes Draymond, and that's why Draymond acts like that, and that's why I can say. I feel like Draymond could still work great in many other systems and be that caliber of player. He may not be the number 1 option to score, but he would be like a Marcus Smart. You get what I'm saying?
No, I agree that Draymond can. A lot of people think he can't play nowhere else. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all. There's so many things.
In the right situation, like I said about the situation about if he was to go to decide to just be like a mentor to a young team.
Exactly.
That'll be
Houston,
value.
like we said before.
That'll be value. Or if he decided to go to another contender, he could definitely fit. Even with how we spoke on him coming to the Lakers, LeBron needs to have somebody to be able to take the ball out of his hands so he can go play more in the post. You put Draymond at the top of the key, Bron on the post, AD kind of in the mid section. Yeah. We can make that triangle.
That'll be a badass triangle right there, even though Draymond can't score for shit.
But and he ain't got to.
He ain't got to.
He don't have to.
That'd be some mean shit.
For this purposes right here with this deal, I think Draymond staying, and I do believe now with them getting Chris Paul, I'm leaning more into Draymond is about to reconstruct his deal with the Warriors. I know before this deal, I was thinking maybe Draymond gonna play some hardball and see how serious they are because, like I said, Bob Myers is his guy.